Hello everyone, my name is Dunya and this presentation is a part of my MBA model on International Human Resource Management. Today I will be analyzing how PwC adapts its HR strategies across 5 key regions: the United States, Germany, South Africa, Australia, and Iraq. Each one presents different cultural, political, and organizational structure. I chose PwC not only for its global footprint, but also because of its relevance to my personal and professional experience in the Middle East. International human resource management is no longer an optional function. It is a central driver for any organization that operates across borders. PwC is active in more than 150 countries, and in each one, it must respond to different employment laws, social systems, and leadership norms. What I learned throughout this model is that HR becomes the translator of organizational behavior. It carries leadership styles, communicates power distance, and builds or breaks trust depending on how well it understands the context of the environment it applies the regulations in. In this presentation, I included 5 regions instead of 4. The reason is simple. Iraq is often left out of these discussions, yet it holds a real insight on how HR operates under pressure. I wanted this presentation to reflect that reality. In the United States, PwC applies a highly performance-driven HR model. The leadership style is transformational, with an emphasis on autonomy, innovation, and recognition. What stood out to me is how HR plays a key role in compliance and culture. At the same time, U.S. labor laws are strict and immigration regulations create pressure. Despite this, PwC maintains an inclusive hiring strategy and emphasizes diversity, equity, and inclusion. These values are not what separates from business performances. They are built into how teams function. Germany operates within a high legal compliance culture. PwC aligns its HR strategy with national frameworks, particularly through its collaboration with employee work councils. The leadership style in Germany is participative, but it follows a clear structure. This is a low-context environment wherein expectations are written, formal, and enforced. Apprenticeship programs and dual training systems are not just tradition, they are part of long-term strategy that builds loyalty, reduces turnover, and reinforces the value of structured organizational behavior. South Africa's context requires HR to engage both history and future growth. PwC applies affirmative action policies through the lens of employment equity. The leadership model here is more directive than in the West, but it is also community-oriented. The influence of Ubuntu shows how interpersonal connection becomes a part of business strategy. What I found important here is how HR functions as a tool for economic justice. The company invests in upskilling, mentorship, and local partnership, not to just recruit talent, but also to develop it. Australia reflects a more feminine culture in Hofstad's model. The focus is on cooperation, well-being, and quality of life. PwC mirrors this in both leadership and HR strategy. The leadership style is coaching-based. Employees are given autonomy and psychological safety. HR initiatives prioritize mental health, flexible work models, and continuous learning. This region showed me that a high-performing organization does not need to operate on pressure. It can achieve results through emotional intelligence, well-being, and trust-based systems. Iraq is not just another region in this analysis, it is one I understand firsthand. PwC here applies an authoritative leadership style. This fits with high power distance culture, where control and clarity are seen as protective, not oppressive. HR in Iraq must adapt to legal ambiguity, political risks, and talent scarcity. Localization is critical, trust is built slowly, and loyalty often matters more than resumes. From my own experience working within the region, I've seen how HR in Iraq is about survival, not just structure. That's why I included it in this presentation. This chart compares the leadership models across all 5 regions. In the United States, transformational leadership is most dominant. Germany follows participative leadership consistent with structured culture. South Africa uses directive leadership shaped by social obligation and community values. Australia reflects a coaching style that fits a feminine, low-power distance context. Iraq uses authoritative leadership, aligning with strong hierarchy and high uncertainty avoidance. Recruitment methods reveal what a culture values. In the United States, for example, inclusivity is a major factor. PwC hires with a focus on representation and legal compliance. Germany applies a formal credential-based process. It prioritizes qualifications and procedural transparency. In South Africa, we can see that recruitment supports national equity targets. It is both political and developmental. Australia emphasizes on flexibility and role fit. Iraq depends on personal network, loyalty, and in some cases, social credibility more than formal qualifications. This slide compares how PwC develops talent across 5 regions. Germany focuses on formal programs and dual-track apprenticeships. The United States leans on digital learning and mentorship. Australia combines informal learning with employee wellness programs. South Africa uses training as a long-term development strategy to uplift communities. Iraq relies on on-the-job training. Formal systems are limited, so learning happens through direct observation and situational problem solving. Compensation reflects what a culture rewards. In the United States, for example, bonuses and performance-based incentives are standard. Germany's packages are regulated and stable. Union plays a key role here. South Africa includes equity incentives as a part of its social accountability. Australia offers flexible benefits that appeal to employee well-being. In Iraq, pay structures often include security allowance, loyalty bonuses, and risk-related benefits. Trust mechanisms vary across countries. In the United States, grievance systems are structured and transparent. Germany uses formal representation through works councils. South Africa combines formal structures with communication consultation. Australia emphasizes informal, open-door policies that reflect low power distance. Iraq relies heavily on interpersonal trust and manager credibility. Loyalty is personal, and employees often resolve issues informally. Looking across all 5 regions, these 3 major themes appear. First, cultural adaptation is essential. HR must understand local behavior models. Second, legal systems either enable or constrain what is possible. PwC works with each one strategically. Third, HR technology supports integration, but it must be contextualized. Without cultural insight, even the best systems can create confusion. Finally, we will cover the future of international HRM and how it's shaped by 4 main forces. One is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is redefining recruitment and performance analysis. The second is hybrid models. They are challenging how we measure visibility and productivity. And then the tension between global standardization and local responsiveness is growing. Finally, the environmental and social governance is becoming a part of HR's role, requiring alignment with ethics, not just profit. These references include academic theory, regional studies, and PwC's own publications. All sources are cited using Harvard referencing style and directly support the observations and comparisons presented throughout this analysis. Has been the last slide. I hope you found my analysis accurate and insightful. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.